It is my honor to introduce, for the purposes of addressing the joint session, Her Excellency, the Governor of the State of Rhode Island and Providence Plantations, Gina M. Raimondo.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you and good evening. Thank you and good evening. Speaker Mattiello, Senate President Paiva-Weed, members of the General Assembly, distinguished guests, my husband Andy, and my fellow Rhode Islanders. We gather this evening for an annual address that is as much about honoring a tradition of cooperation between the governor and the legislature as it is about setting priorities and crafting a budget. And we're at a time in America where the angriest voices among us seem to be the loudest, and where politicians just seem to be shouting past one another. But not here in Rhode Island. Here in Rhode Island, we're showing that we can forge consensus, and we can work together to achieve progress through collaboration and compromise. To you, the members of this Assembly, and to your leaders, I say thank you. Thank you for your service, thank you for your partnership, and thank you for your deep commitment to Rhode Island, because together we are making a difference for the people of this great state. Thank you. Most Sundays, my family and I go grocery shopping after Mass. And we were recently at the Stop and Shop on Branch Avenue, and a young man came up to talk to me. He was about 35 years old. That's not unusual. I usually do more talking than shopping. And he started to tell me about the challenges he was facing. He's having a tough time. And he told me, Governor, I don't mind working hard. I want to work hard. I just can't get enough hours and enough shifts to stay ahead of my bills. I think about that guy and the countless people like him every day, from the time I wake up till the time I kiss my kids to bed at night. What's on my mind is helping people like him, growing this economy, creating jobs, and making Rhode Island a place of opportunity for everybody. And I know Rhode Islanders are frustrated. We're frustrated because government doesn't work as well as it should. We're frustrated because our roads have too many potholes and our bridges are crumbling. And we're frustrated because too many of our friends can't find work or get good jobs that pay. But the good news is that we are making progress, and our state is getting stronger every day. Last year, our housing market had the strongest year since 2004. Our economy created more than 8,000 jobs last year, the most we've created in any single year since the year 2000. And our unemployment
more than
rate
any
dropped.
Other state in the nation. I'm going to say that again. Rhode Island had a larger drop in its unemployment rate last year than any other state in the country. We're down to 5.1%. Now, we might be a small state, but that's a big deal. Another story of our progress lies just a few blocks from here. A couple of weeks ago, we signed a contract to move forward with a major healthcare complex on the 195 land. Now, I've worked hard on this, meeting with executives to persuade them that Rhode Island was the right place to invest. And as you know, I'll talk to anyone or go anywhere in order to get jobs in Rhode Island. It's not a done deal yet, but we're closer than ever to realizing our vision of establishing a magnet of innovation and entrepreneurship and investment on the 195 land. This project has the potential to create hundreds of good jobs for Rhode Island families and be a foundation upon which we build a stronger economy. Now, a big part of the reason this is happening is because of you, because of the tools the General Assembly passed in last year's budget. That's the kind of partnership that works for all of Rhode Island. And I want you to know we're hard at work utilizing these tools to create jobs for Rhode Islanders. I'm going to tell you about a local company. Greystone is a local manufacturer. They've been manufacturing components for the automotive and aerospace industry since 1932. They also have a facility in Virginia, and they were considering expanding there instead of here. We've all heard that story before. A company's growing, only the jobs are going someplace else. This time, the story has a different ending. Because of the job-creating tools that this legislature passed last year, we were able to convince Greystone to expand in Rhode Island instead of in Virginia. And now 25 good-paying manufacturing jobs are being created in Rhode Island. That means 25 Rhode Islanders are going to go off to work in the morning and come home at night and feel a little more secure because they can take care of their families. Now, on the one hand, it's just one company and 25 jobs. But it does show early results that the economic development tools are working. In the last month alone, we've helped 3 major real estate projects advance, and we've awarded 11 innovation vouchers to support partnerships between businesses and universities. So whether it's transformative projects like Wexford or smaller wins like Greystone, together we will rebuild this economy. Together we will rebuild this economy one job at a time. Now, while we're at it, let's reject the politics of procrastination and pass the roadworks bill. It is time to fix our roads and bridges. Rebuilding our crumbling roads and bridges is essential to attracting great companies to Rhode Island. First-class jobs go to places with first-class infrastructure. And while we're doing it, we're going to put thousands of Rhode Islanders to work. Thank you, Speaker, and thank you, Senate President, for leading on this critical issue, for doing the right thing for Rhode Island, and for creating those jobs. Let's get this done. In the last year, we've also made progress helping hardworking Rhode Islanders put a little more money in their pockets, and I'd like to see us keep going. We expanded the Earned Income Tax Credit last year so families could keep more of what they earn. I propose we expand it once again and help more than 85,000 taxpayers keep a little more of their hard-earned income. Last year, we increased the minimum wage, giving 40,000 Rhode Islanders a raise. Tonight, I'm asking you to raise it a little bit more, to go up to $10.10, because no one who works full-time should have to live in poverty. And thanks to Speaker Mattiello's leadership, we reduced the taxes seniors pay on their Social Security benefit. My mother's here tonight. She really likes that one. I'm excited. I am excited about the progress that we've made together in the past year. But there's more to do, and we have to keep going. This global economy is changing faster than ever before. Our job is to make sure that Rhode Islanders aren't left behind and that our state is positioned for success. To do this, our economy has to be more rooted in advanced industries that are driven by technology and research and development, and that employ people with technical skills. Nationally, these are the industries that are expanding much faster than the economy as a whole. And these are the industries that pay. These are the industries with high-wage jobs at every level. In 2013, the average advanced industry employee earned $90,000. Many of these jobs do not require a four-year college degree, but they do require advanced skills, skills available to anyone willing to work hard. It's pretty simple. Advanced industry jobs create high wages and economic growth. Here's the good news. We have strengths in Rhode Island in many advanced industries, in defense, in IT services, in healthcare, in biomedical innovation. But here's the bad news. Over the past 30 years, employment in these industries has fallen at a faster rate in Rhode Island than in any other state in the country. And as a result, what have we seen? We've seen in the last decade our average family income actually went down. People are working hard, but they're making less. It's clear. If we want to grow high-wage jobs in Rhode Island, we need to skate where the puck will be. We need to put ourselves in a position to be successful. We need our people to have the skills that matter so they can get jobs that pay. Skills that matter and jobs that pay. To create these high-paying jobs in Rhode Island, first we need to encourage our businesses to invest even more in research and development and to partner with our great colleges and universities. Every day, businesses are investing in new, cool products. I want them doing it right here in Rhode Island and putting our people to work in the process. So tonight, I propose a major expansion of our research and development tax credit, which will encourage people to develop and to make cutting-edge products right here in Rhode Island. Leading experts believe the R&D tax credit is one of the strongest tools to drive the creation of more American jobs. These are the jobs we need right here in Rhode Island. Let's get it done. I'm also proposing a bond initiative to build an innovation campus in Rhode Island. We're going to ask universities like URI to partner with businesses to create a place where researchers can work alongside business people to turn their inventions into new products, services, businesses, and most importantly, jobs. A great model for this is the International Center for Automotive Research in South Carolina. There, the state seeded a partnership between BMW and Clemson University. That partnership has created thousands of high-paying jobs in that region, jobs at every level, from entry-level technicians all the way up to higher-paid managers. Over a dozen companies have moved to access the talent and technology produced there. If they can do that in South Carolina, we can do that in Rhode Island. Let's get together, let's get this done, and let's provide opportunity for the families in the state of Rhode Island. Another way to attract businesses here is to stop the brain drain, and keep more of our talented young people here. Last year, I was very pleased to work with Representative Blazejewski and Senator Pearson. We created a Wavemaker Fellowship to help repay student loans for college graduates who stay in Rhode Island after they graduate. That's the future. Tonight, I propose that we expand that program so that anyone who graduates from a Rhode Island university with a B+ average in a science or technology field and who stays to work in Rhode Island in a STEAM job, we're going to help you pay back your student loans. We need those young people here being part of our economic recovery. These are just some of the things we can do together to build an environment where 21st century businesses want to be, where people have the skills that matter and jobs that pay. Recently, Electric Boat announced that they're going to add thousands of new jobs in Rhode Island in the years ahead. But the company expressed concern about finding enough trained workers to fill those positions. It confirms what we all know. Modern businesses value access to skilled talent above almost anything else. Soon, 70% of all good jobs in Rhode Island will require a post-secondary degree. Today, about 40% of our adult population has that degree. We've got to do better. We can do better. Creating a pipeline of educated and skilled workers is one of the most important things that we can do over the long term to attract businesses to Rhode Island. Now, working together in the last year, we have made huge progress to develop a talent pipeline in Rhode Island. Together, we made college more affordable. We launched Prepare RI and made it possible for high school students to take college classes for free while they're in high school. It's helping students like Catherine Carrillo, a senior at Central Falls High School. Catherine works part-time to help her family. She plays soccer, and she's taking 4 college classes. When she goes to college, these credits will transfer, making it easier for her to afford college and graduate on time. We also created Rhode Island Promise Scholarship, which has made it possible for 6,000 students to attend college. That is 6,000 lives that are changed forever. One person goes to college, it changes a family's opportunities forever. And one of those students is with us in the chamber tonight. A beautiful young woman named Genesis Sanchez Taveras. She's a junior at Rhode Island College. She was working 3 jobs, also going to RIC. She got a Rhode Island Promise Scholarship. Now she only works 1 job, and she can focus more on school. We are so proud of you, Genesis, and you just keep on going. The budget I present tonight continues funding for this scholarship program, and it also ensures that we don't have to raise tuition at URI, CCRI, or RIC. We're rebuilding our economy, and we want more people to go to college. It would be the worst time to jack up the price tag. But it's not just our colleges and universities. We have to promote lifelong learning, which means emphasizing workforce development. With our Real Jobs Rhode Island initiative, we've made huge progress on job training in the past year. We've put employers in the driver's seat. We're letting them design the training so that we're preparing people for jobs that actually exist. Common sense, but it's working. In the last year alone, we've engaged nearly 200 employers who are working with us to train over 1,000 Rhode Islanders. That's 1,000 Rhode Islanders who are going to get the skills they need to get a high-paying job. And we're just getting started. Now, if we're going to have the best pipeline of skilled workers in America, and that should be our goal, the best pipeline of skilled workers in America, we have to do much more to improve our public schools. Thanks to the Senate President's leadership last year, we expanded the number of pre-K classrooms and finally made all-day kindergarten universal in Rhode Island. This year, we're adding a proposal to make the SAT free for all students and one to expand computer science in every grade. the goal of making sure that our kids are career-ready or college-ready, but there's much more to do. Only about a third of our students are meeting expectations in English and even fewer in math. Rhode Island has the lowest high school graduation rate in New England. And most troubling to me, Rhode Island has one of the largest achievement gaps between white students and non-white students. All of our kids deserve better, and I know, acting together, we can improve our schools so children can get the skills they need and deserve to succeed in today's economy. To begin with, our schools can't learn in school buildings that are falling apart and crumbling. Last year, with your help and partnership, we launched a new school building authority to modernize our school buildings, and work is already underway. Tonight, I'm proposing we invest another $50 million to rebuild public schools all across this state. Next, we need to ensure that we're fair in the way we fund our public schools. A diverse group of Rhode Islanders recently completed a review of our education funding formula. And thank you to Representatives Amore and Ruggiero and Senators DuPont and Gallo for serving on that working group. Thank you for your commitment. Tonight I propose to you a revised funding formula that maintains the importance of money following the child, but it also is designed to level the playing field between district schools and charter schools. It provides that when a student moves from a district school to a charter school, some of the money stays behind in the district school. As a result, our public schools will see new investments, and every single school district in Rhode Island will be better off than it was before the changes. The proposal also recognizes that certain students face specific challenges which impose extra costs to educate them. Our proposal boosts resources for schools with students who have greater needs, but we're only going to pay for what works. So if schools want the extra money, they have to adopt proven best practices. And finally, parents and taxpayers deserve to know how school dollars are being spent. So the budget that I submit to you tonight requires every public school to make its actual budget available online. We already have the data. Let's post it so everybody can see how our money's being invested. Our Education Commissioner will soon present a plan to you that is rooted in the core belief that all public schools should be high-quality schools, and that every kid, regardless of what neighborhood they live in, deserves a public school that will prepare them for their future. To succeed these days, it's not like when we went to school. To succeed these days, our students need much more than just math and reading skills. They need to be problem solvers, collaborators, have digital skills, and be creative. Rhode Island already ranks 7th in the country in spending, so resources alone aren't the answer. The plan that the Commissioner will detail in the weeks ahead relies heavily on what has worked in Massachusetts. 20 years ago, Massachusetts and Rhode Island had relatively similar schools, relatively similar performance. Since that time, Massachusetts has rocketed ahead of us. They've built some of the best public schools in the country, and not surprisingly, their economy is thriving. It's time for us to follow a similar path. That means keeping our standards high and consistent across the state. But it also means empowering school leaders by giving principals and teachers more flexibility to meet the needs of individual students who they know best. We need to give educators the autonomy, flexibility, and support that they need to do their jobs. And then we need to demand evidence that they're meeting our high statewide standards. And like Massachusetts, let's offer parents and families more choices within the public school system so that they can send their child to the public school that's right for them. Adhering to these core principles, high standards, accountability, school empowerment, and expanded choice, Massachusetts saw test scores rise, students succeed, and their economy boom. We can do this too, and it's time that we will and we should. Now, if we're going to have skills that matter and jobs that pay, they're going to be built on the building blocks of a stronger economy, and we need a solid foundation. That solid foundation is a business climate that makes it easier to do business in Rhode Island, and a government that's fiscally responsible. That's the foundation upon which we'll build this economy. Last year, working together, we achieved meaningful savings in Medicaid and created certainty by locking in pension savings. Together, these initiatives have allowed us to avoid tax increases, invest in education and economic development, and significantly reduce our structural deficit. We also work together to eliminate the business tax on energy, cut taxes on small businesses, all while maintaining the lowest corporate tax rate in New England. So let's keep going. Let's keep going. The budget that I submit to you tonight has a making it easier to do business proposal. It has 3 parts. First, it expands online permitting to make it easier for businesses. Second, it targets waste and fraud, especially in our TDI system. And third, it lowers the unemployment insurance taxes that businesses pay, that every business in Rhode Island pays. Rhode Island ranks 49th in the nation, second to last, in our unemployment insurance taxes. We have to attack these areas like this where we're an outlier. The plan I present to you tonight reduces unemployment insurance taxes without cutting benefits. The tax cut will save Rhode Island businesses $30 million next year alone, and it's the first time since 1992 that Rhode Island has moved off of the highest tax bracket. Let's work together to get this done so businesses can thrive in the state of Rhode Island. Now, I've spent a lot of time tonight talking about jobs and the economy. And that's because putting people back to work is our top priority. But it's not our only priority. There are other critical issues addressed in the budget that I present to you, such as preparing Rhode Island for the challenges of climate change, a threat that we, here in the Ocean State, are uniquely vulnerable to. And we have to meet these challenges, and working together, we will meet these challenges. But tonight I'd like to talk about just one more issue, and that is the public health crisis of overdose deaths in Rhode Island. Over 200 Rhode Islanders died from opioid-related overdoses in 2014. Since 2005, the number of drug poisoning deaths has exceeded the number of deaths from car crashes and firearms combined. Elise from Pawtucket and her husband are here with us tonight in the chamber. They had 2 adult sons, Teddy, age 30, and Paul, age 22. Both of their sons started using prescription painkillers to deal with the pain from their jobs. They move furniture for a living. We've lost both of them to drug overdose. As parents, Andy and I cannot imagine your pain. Elise is here tonight, and she's courageously telling their story and fighting to reassure other families that they aren't alone. Let's commit tonight to joining their fight. I'm committed to this, as I know you are. Together, we will address this crisis. I say we set a goal. Let's set a goal of driving down overdose deaths by 1/3 in the next 3 years. And we can do this. We can do this if we focus on 4 areas: treatment, overdose reversals, prevention, and recovery. Among other things, in the budget I present to you tonight, it calls for more investing in treatment. Medical-assisted treatment that we know works. Experts say it's one of the most powerful things we can do to reduce overdose deaths. I'm asking you tonight and inviting you tonight to join me. Work with me. Let's work together to get this done. Elise deserves it, and our families deserve it. Let's do this. I've said this many times before. My vision for Rhode Island is a vision of a state where everybody can make it in Rhode Island. And together we can do this. I have no doubt that together we can do this. In fact, we have to do this because people are counting on us like they never have before. Together, we can make Rhode Island a place where people like Genesis don't have to work 3 jobs to be able to afford college. We can make Rhode Island a place where my friend from Stop and Shop doesn't have to work 2 or 3 jobs to make a living, and he has security when he puts his head on the pillow at night. We can make Rhode Island a place where every Rhode Islander willing to work hard has a chance to achieve their dreams. That's why we're all here. And a place where parents like Elise and our friend, Senator Rhoda Perry, don't have to bury their children because of an overdose. Now, last year I told you we had a tall hill to climb if we were going to turn around this economy. And it is steep. And I sure can't do it alone. I'm calling on every single Rhode Islander to play a role in Rhode Island's great comeback. And to all of you in the past year who've raised your hands and rolled up your sleeves to play a role in that comeback, to all of you, to the hardworking state employees, to the members of this chamber, to the other elected officials in this office, to the hundreds of volunteers on boards and commissions, I say thank you. I say thank you for your commitment and your service. Because it is working, and we are making progress, and we are every day closer to making Rhode Island a place of opportunity for everybody. Now, I know we're not always going to agree. And I'd be surprised if we did. We don't have to always agree. But we are bound together by our commitment to Rhode Island, and we are bound together by our love of this great state. tonight, I reaffirm my commitment to all the people of Rhode Island to work as hard as I can to make Rhode Island a place of opportunity for everybody. And I ask you to join me. We are bound together. Let's work together. Let's climb that hill together to take ourselves to a place where Rhode Islanders can succeed and all families have opportunity. Thank you, God bless, and God bless Rhode Island.